Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Gems of Life show. My name is Fadwa. I am your host. I'm so excited that you're able to join us here today. I hope you're doing well wherever you are. I have a very unique, talented, special guest here on our show today. Fadumo Farah. She is a British Somali entrepreneur and designer, breaking the barriers in the fashion industry. Just about to launch and create a new fashion line. Yes, in the wheelchair friendly fashion department. So Fadumo, welcome to our show.
Thank you very much, Farwa. It's a pleasure to be here.
I'm so honored that you're able to take your time with us. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, alhamdulillah.
Yeah. So for those who don't know you, because I just read an article about you a few days ago, and I thought, this is a powerful woman, inspirational woman that I need to reach out to, and not only just reach out to offer how I can support the work that you're doing, because I truly believe what you're doing is just truly inspirational. Do you mind just sharing,
Thank you very much.
Like? Mm-hmm.
Well, I became disabled 10 years ago. I fell ill. I got a minor headache, walked into hospital. Then I ended up in a coma. I was told I was in the coma almost 3 months. Pronounced dead 3 times. Woke up. The doctors thought I was going to lose all my memory. Alhamdulillah, my family was told a lot of things. They were told I would die within the first 72 hours because I got meningitis. I survived the first 72 hours. Then they were told I was going to become completely brain damaged. And alhamdulillah, when I opened my eyes, the first thing I said is, I needed to speak to my husband. And I gave the lady his number, which was unbelievable. But I came out being paralyzed from neck down, completely paralyzed from neck down. So I'm grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to the Almighty, for giving me back a lot of my upper movement, my upper body movement.
Wow. So it has been 10 years since the last time you were in hospital when you were diagnosed and you went through the coma and all that.
This August, 4th of August, is going to be my 10-year anniversary.
Wow. Wow. Just hearing that and be able to see the progress and your health, being able just to sit down and just talk to me and have this conversation is not something that doctors believe that you'll be able to do. That's a miracle.
Yes. Absolutely. Doctors think I'm a miracle. I mean, 10 years ago, my husband was told I will never move a finger. This is what the doctor said. You'll never be able to do this in your life. And for that moment, it was like, my goodness, my husband he didn't know what to say to me. But I told him I refuse to be disabled. And if I'm meant never to walk again, if the last day that I take a step was going to be 4th of August, 2011, then it's okay. But I refuse. I totally refuse to be. I'm not in denial, but I've just refused. So I started learning everything from scratch. I was taught how to speak. I was taught how to eat. I was taught how to breathe. I was taught, it's like a small baby again, all over again. I had a very beautiful life. I'm not denying the life that I had before. It was amazing life. I was a career woman, a mother, a wife, a friend, which I'm still. And I have another life. So I don't dwell on what I used to have before. But now I go like, oh my God, I can lift my hand up. Oh my God, I can feed myself. Oh my God, I can do this. So I count my blessings and each day is a blessing. I always say, disability is not inability.
I love that. Oh, yes. Can you repeat that again?
It's not inability. That's what I always say.
Yes. You know, what I love about you, and that's why I'm doing this, is you never gave up.
Never.
You never allowed your new reality to paralyze you for life.
No.
You know, and truly that it's inspirational. You know, we get stuck in our own way of life. We get stuck in our past experiences and our life, that we forget we can still recreate a new reality for ourselves.
You know, every moment is different, but you are the only person who can determine how to live that moment.
You're right.
I believe in owning my moment. From when we were young children, when we were growing up, we were brought in a way that you own your moment. My grandmother kept saying this, Nagnol is kadik dahada hero. So I'm always on that moment, you understand?
You had a strong woman in your backbone.
My goodness, may the Almighty bless her with Jannatul Firdaus.
Amen. Yes.
She was one hell of an iron lady.
And I can see it in you. I can see it in you. And, you know,
both my grandmothers, by the way, both my grandmothers from my mother's side and my father's side were both very, very strong women. I would be the luckiest woman in life if I was, as you know, a little drop of them being in me. I would be very lucky.
But I see it in you. I see it in you. You got it. You're able to pick yourself up. Had you not picked yourself up, had you not believed that you are more than what you were at that moment, then you would have been what the doctors had said. But you refused. You challenged it. You challenged that new reality and said, you know, I'm going to fight this because I am more than what I am right now. You know,
it is what it is.
Yeah. It is what it is. Deal with it, right? Deal with it in the best way possible. Deal with it in the best way possible. And what you didn't do is, what I love about you is, you didn't play the victimhood. Oh, poor me.
No. You know, when you start blaming people or blaming your condition, you're lost. I remember one day, one of the doctors who I truly hold in my heart came to me and he told me, Fadumo, why don't you cry? Because you came into hospital walking and you've shut down from neck down. By then I was like a stick. And I told him, Doc, I need tissues today. You need to. Then he went and got the box of tissue. And he said, oh my God, I would be so happy if you let it go. Then I told him, Doc, so let me ask you a question. Who am I angry at? If you pinpoint the person that I should get angry at, then I'm going to cry till thy kingdom come. Then he told me there's nobody actually for Fadumo. I said, then why do you want me to cry for no reason? I told him I'm a Muslim. I believe this is my destiny. I'm not blaming anybody. This is Qadr, and I said, thank you, God, and what's my next chapter? At the moment, Fadwa, when they told me you're disabled, you're totally paralyzed from neck down, I was sent a psychiatrist, a professor came to me, and the doctor asked me, Fadumo, are you angry? I told him I have long-term goals and short-term goals. He said, what is your short-term goal? My short-term goal is to try and work with anything that wakes up for me. And what is your long-term goal? My long-term goal is to visualize walking with high heel shoes. And I have a strategy on getting those goals. He told me, what are your strategies? I said, one, faith. I'm a Muslim woman.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, is perseverance. I need to persevere. From the hospital cleaner to the top mister, my family and friends. People will talk bad to you. People will try and push you. People will do anything,
Mm-hmm.
I will persevere with the pain, with the tiredness of the gym. I will persevere with everything. Thirdly, dedication. I will dedicate myself, try and lift myself from this thing you're calling paralysis.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one is to visualize one day, that one day I walk with 6-inch high heel shoes.
Wow.
And the doctor told me, you don't have a problem, Fadumo. Keep visualizing.
Mm.
And they got me a video. I can't remember because I was not completely okay by then. They played me an American guy who kept visualizing in coma that he was running and doing things. And he woke up and, he beat all the doctor's diagnoses. So they told me to keep visualizing. So I visualize a lot. I visualize a lot walking with my son, jumping up and down, dancing again, doing barambo and hello,
Yes. Mm.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. When you were in the coma for 3 months,
Yeah.
I know what that feels like because there was a time, especially meningitis. My brother got hit with meningitis when we were back in Africa. And back then, we were told some of the signs to look out for. So he was talking about headaches, severe headaches. I was like, okay. So I put him down on the couch. I said, okay, lift up one of your knee. That was one of the exercises they told us. And if he cannot lift up his knee up, you need to rush him to the hospital. He could barely lift up his knee. Wow. So we took him to the clinic immediately. We took a taxi, took him to the clinic, and they said, oh, he needs to go to the hospital. And we rushed him to the hospital. And my mother was just out of town that day, and I was with my uncle. We went to the hospital. I can't even remember the hospital, and they had to put a needle in his spinal cord to take out.
It's called.
Yes, yeah. And they had to take out some liquids to check, and they verified that he had meningitis. And they said, had you not brought him, he would have either been paralyzed or gone blind, or even he would have lost his life. Right. So meningitis is very, very serious. So for you, before even you went to the hospital, what are the signs that early on that you started picking on that took you to the hospital?
My neck was very stiff. I kept having a high fever, and I kept having a bad headache. So things to look out for is a high fever, headache, and stiff neck. You ever get that, just rush to hospital.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if it is meningitis, then the consequences are not good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, absolutely. Thank you for sharing.
Being able not to breathe, being in a coma, having tubes down your your throat, being in ICU, it's not a good thing. And being confined in a wheelchair is not a good thing. But you know what? Life is you don't know where life takes you, which way you're going. But whichever way you're going, just be glad you're alive.
Mm-hmm. And not only just be alive, yeah, and not just even to have that great gratitude, but to know that maybe there is a purpose for you to be where you are today. Maybe it's a setup for you to do greater good.
Absolutely.
In the world. But when we are so consumed with anger, we fail to realize all that. So now is our next step, because I know there's a reason why you are where you are today, because there's a greater good that you're actually doing in the world today.
When I was walking, I did a lot of charity, but I never helped any disabled person back in Africa. I was big on school. did a lot of schools, almost 26 schools back in Somalia. I'm sorry now, I'm not big on schools anymore. I'm big on disability.
Yeah.
And I've just realized, oh my God, how many spinal cord injury patients are in Somalia?
Mm-hmm.
There must be thousands because of the war. They don't have wheelchairs. They don't have nice beds. They don't have commodes. They don't have anything. They don't have any rehab facilities. This is me thinking I should have the biggest spinal cord injury hospital in Africa somewhere, either Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, or Somalia. Because the rich people come, I see a lot of rich people from Africa in the rehabs here in the UK, or people go to Turkey if you're from Somalia and you know you have money. What about the poor people? We do a lot of charity by collecting money and buying people wheelchairs and, you know, try and bring up their lives up, back, improve their life just a little bit back home. I still pay school fees for people. I still help people back home. I'm still big on school also. But you know what? When something like this happens to someone, then your focus goes to another direction.
Yeah.
Now I see, oh my God, God, you've opened my eyes for something which I didn't know. Yeah. I never, you know, I might look very glamorous and everything, but whatever goes in my body and during the day, whatever goes, it's a lot, which I didn't know myself. All the kerfuffles that comes with spinal cord injury, I never knew.
Yeah.
You know? You just take life for granted, and yeah, we should be grateful and, you know, thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for every single breath we take.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You're right. What does your day-to-day look like? You wake up in the morning. What is your routine look like now?
My routine, I wake up early in the morning. I wake up every morning, 8 o'clock in the morning. And I will have 2 ladies come to my bedroom, sit me up, because I cannot sit up by myself. I sleep on a profiling bed. I haven't slept on my marital bed for 10 years. I sleep on my profiling bed. I sit up and I do passive movements for the legs because I can, you know, I do a lot of stretches before I sit up and do my personal care. I finish everything, shower, I'm taken, you know, again to the bed, dress up, then sit on the wheelchair like nothing happened to me.
Yes, it's all in the mind, right? The attitude. It's all
Absolutely. I always say every day is a new day. Every day is another day, and it's a new day.
Yeah. And just like you said, people in Africa today, you have people who can come in and help you. But there are people who don't have that access.
Absolutely, absolutely. I have a standing wheelchair. I can stand on it, get whatever I can get from up, you know, from whatever. When I'm in my kitchen, I do not. If I am now, I'm not on my standing wheelchair. When I'm on my standing wheelchair, Fadwa, I cook, I zoom around my kitchen, I do whatever I want to do. Or if I'm on this wheelchair, my kitchen worktop goes up and down. So what? Imagine all that. It's a blessing. It's another blessing. Because people back in Africa, it's really sad. It's really sad. You see people just sitting somewhere, or, you know, it's subhanallah, it's really sad.
Yeah. So what are the things that you have learned how to adapt for the past 10 years? What are you still learning to adapt? What are the things that were challenging for you to adapt to?
A lot of things, really. You know, when you're a woman and you are not used to getting butt naked in front of people, then getting naked just becomes a normal thing for you. Because somebody has to button it, trust me, before 4 years ago, I used to be showered like a small baby. And the biggest thing for me was brushing my teeth. Not everybody brushes your teeth the way you brush for yourself. Then you keep saying, give me a minute, let me use my tongue to see. Then I think you should go back here. I think you should do that. You understand? So the moment I could brush my teeth, I remember my husband saying, Pescade,
finally I can brush my teeth,
Yes,
Yeah.
Not on the sink. I couldn't go to the sink. I was given a bowl. And I kept brushing and brushing and brushing and brushing. And I was like, oh my God.
Wow.
Yes.
That's amazing progress, right? Just to see you progressing and getting better and better as years go by.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I have an amazing husband, such an amazing husband. Subhanallah. One of the things that he was really, really afraid was that I could go into depression because I loved to shower a lot. So when he was told she was going to be paralyzed from neck down, first thing he said, until now, the doctors talk about it. How about the shower? How will she shower? How will she shower?
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
And I remember when I came home, I was in hospital for 1 year and 1 month. So when I came home, what he did was one day I was put into the bathroom and he told the lady, I think I'm going to shower my wife today. And I was like, oh, I don't think I want him to shower me. But he came with Victoria's Secret shower gel. And he said, okay. The lady said, all right, then I have to stand with you. He said, I don't have a problem. You don't have to go. And I think that was the time I felt the most cleanest out of all the time.
Wow.
Poor man scrubbed me until I think his hands were paining him.
That's just so beautiful to have a partner like that. That's just so beautiful.
Yes.
And it's a huge difference when you have a partner and family members who are there to support you.
Absolutely. My parents live in Africa. I don't have a sister here. I have cousins here. But my husband is such an amazing guy. Yeah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless him. He's an amazing guy.
Amen. Wow. Yeah. Now, you're in a journey now. I mentioned earlier you're a designer. And for our listeners, and I know this is not just the first video we're doing, we're going to bring you back so we can share more about the work that you're doing, because I truly believe you're just a true inspirational to many, many people out there and to myself. I'm your biggest fan now. Okay.
Thank you very much. I'm your biggest fan too.
And share with us, what inspired you to get to this business of being a designer? Is this something you used to do before? Or is it something that just you gave birth to now?
It's just something which I'm just doing now. What happened is, Fadwa, when when you like dressing up and looking glamorous, because I told you I like to own the moment. So when you like to dress up, to be colorful, and then all of a sudden you don't have anything to wear. I walked into hospital when I was 70 kgs and I came out of hospital almost 200 kilos. Wow. Yes. I didn't have anything that could fit me. Nothing could fit me. All I used to wear for the first 8 months was hospital gowns. Then I was taken to a rehab center. Now in the rehab, you're taught how to live normal life, your new life. So what am I going to wear? And I'm brought for oversized t-shirts. and jogging bottoms, jogging pants. And I'm like, okay, this is my life now. I'm going to be living like this. And male shoes, my legs were swollen, so I was wearing number 9 shoe size. You have to wear 2 sizes bigger than you. So because of the swelling, I was wearing 3 sizes bigger than me, from number 6 to number 9. So I'm like, okay, this is my life now. All right, no problem. So I just continued like that. Then I told my mother one day, I don't have anything to sleep with at night. Then she said, don't worry, I'll fix something for you. So my mother made some bathi dress for me. What she did was she cleverly did the bathi dress like the hospital gowns. So she sent me very colorful nighties. Then I told, oh my God, Mom, thank you so much, and I started wearing the dress at night. Then my husband went to Africa again. And this time, between my mother and I, we made some normal dresses for the house. So we cut at the back, short at the back, long in front, colorful ones. But then still, it's not an evening dress. It's not anything. It's not like a nice blouse, You need to be wearing pants under them. And the pants I'm wearing, they're not breathable. They have seams. And, if they're not breathable, you sweat on them. You have bed sores. If the seams hold you, you get bed sores. And when you get bed sores, things can just go down badly for you. So what I did was I just thought, you know what? Why can't somebody just do something modest, cheap, which can be worn by wheelchair users? Then I asked myself, hey, what are you waiting for? Why don't you just, if you want a change, it has to start with you.
Yes.
Why don't you just start it? Then I talked to one of my former boss, who is like my to-go person, my best friend. I told him, Patrick, I want to do this. So we talked and he told me, yeah, okay, fine. My husband and I and Patrick had a little meeting and we decided, okay, fine. Okay, let's do it. So we got Rosie Winter, who is an amazing lady. She is the project manager. She is the one who got Oxford Fashion Studio. And they're doing an amazing job. And now my idea has definitely is about to be in London Fashion Week this September, inshallah.
Oh, wow.
So what we did was we decided to advertise for designers. So a lot of people applied. We did some shortlisting. We got 6 amazing, talented ladies. Out of the 6, we have to choose one person. And it is the most difficult thing to do when you've got 6 amazing, talented people who showcase their work for you. Farwa, you don't want to be in that position that you have to tell someone, no, you can't, that you won. So we're going to give the winner £10,000 and they are going to co-design with me. Then their design is going to be showcased in London Fashion Week in September, inshallah.
Wow. Congratulations.
And I get to model it.
Yes, of course. You got to walk that runway.
Absolutely.
Yes, you got to walk that runway. Oh, my goodness. I'm just so happy. I'm just so happy. So let's talk about designing. I know you have now a co-creator who will be working with you. What are the ideas that you have when it comes to designing, and how important is it to have breathable materials for those people who are in a wheelchair people with disability, that why is it so important to you to have
You know, 2 months ago, I was in bed for almost 6 weeks because of a bed sore. The pants I was wearing, the tights I was wearing, the seam was on one side of my back cheek, on my cheek butt. And it made a line. And that, because of sitting on it for a long time, it was sore. Because our blood circulation is not good. That can cause a lot of bed sores. And when your clothes are not breathable, you sweat on them. The heat, because you're not moving up and about, you sweat a lot. The dampness from the sweat, it causes all these problems. It's unimaginable. But when the material is breathable and it's seamless and affordable, everybody can have it, isn't it? The other thing is, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, I could not untie a button. The dexterity of my hands were not good. Right now, you think I have very good hands. This hand is good, the fingers. This one is like this. So imagine some people who can't even move their fingers completely, but they want to tie, to button and unbutton shirt or a blouse. Why can't we have magnetic buttons? I'm a catheter user. If I want to empty my catheter, why can't I just have a trouser that has some, Velcros or something? I can just rip it apart and put it back together. So all those small ideas that can bring a lot of change and make it easy for you, your day-to-day wear, your day-to-day life. For instance, now, if I want to dress up, if right now you told me, come, we need to go out, I need to walk in a dera. I need 2 people to lift me up, hoist me up, dress me with my dera, and I have to go out. What if I don't have 2 people? Because not every time I have 2 people in the house. I have 1 person most of the time. My double up leaves after 2 o'clock and comes back at night. So all this period, I don't have anybody. I just have 1 person. So that means if I want to go out, I cannot wear dera at this time. Why can't we have nice evening dresses that we could wear without needing time and effort? Mm-hmm.
It's all about simplicity and accessibility.
Exactly.
And you can still...
We're still alive. We want to rock. I know people who told me, I can't go out, Fadumo, because it takes so long for me to dress up. And I know that for a fact because I go to Somali weddings and I wear deras, and only God knows the work that goes into finding the dera itself, because the gorgorad doesn't have, the petcoat doesn't have to have studs, those small studs.
Yes.
Or the what do you call this? The
design, they have those designs.
Exactly, all those designs and stuff like that, because they'll mess the skin. So you have to say, I don't want, the dera is amazing, but the dera is amazing, but then you get that. After that, it's wearing it. You have to have 2 people to dress you up.
Yeah.
yeah, all that. A lot of things have to change, but definitely a change will come, inshallah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you found when you have friends around you and you have those people around you, has that changed? Has that transitioned? Because there are times where you gain new friends and you lose your new friend, your old friends. Has that happened for you?
No, not really, really, not really. About 16 years or 15 years, I met an amazing lady. I met her she was facilitating a course, a human rights course I did. And she is called Sonia. And Sonia has become like my best, my sister, really. And she is my best friend. And from when I was walking until now, so this lady, when I went into coma, she took unpaid leave and she sat next to me.
Wow.
And she's still around.
Yeah.
I have another lady called Tahira. She's still my best friend. So to be honest, my friends are still my friends. They're still my friends, and mostly we meet each other and we chat a lot. And yeah, and I met and to be honest, I made new friends also. But what the Somali community do is once in a while they bring the party to my house.
I love that.
I have an amazing friend of mine called Ayan. Ayan, oh, she's one in a million. She brings the party to my house. She says, you people, Fadumo is housebound. Let's go and have a party there. Yep.
Wow. How has the pandemic affected your day-to-day movements right now?
To be honest, Fadwa, I've been in lockdown for 10 years.
So it didn't change much, eh?
It didn't change much. He just made a lot of things easy for me, to be honest, you know?
You're like, I was there already, okay?
Yes, I was there, but nobody noticed it. But now at least things are made easy for us because of the pandemic. Yes, unfortunately, I'm sorry for you guys, but
you're already ahead of us. You got some experience before us. We had to do a lot of adapting. You already had adapted.
Exactly.
Yeah. I know when it comes to disability, there's usually that stigma associated with disability. I've seen that in our own community, minority community. How do you deal with that?
To be honest, I haven't seen any stigmatism from my community, the Somali community. I've been asked funny questions out of the blue without even, then you go like, ooh, did they just ask me that? But the funniest one was one day I was waiting the shop wasn't wheelchair accessible, so I was standing outside and the lady looking after me went to get something. And this old guy passes next to me and he says, Salam alaikum wa alaikum salam. What happened to you? Did you have a road accident, a car accident? I said, no. Were you born like this? I said, no, I got ill. Then he asked me,
oh my God. So for people who translate that in English?
He said, how do you go to the toilet? I said, just like you. But you can't walk. I said, no, they carry me and I sit onto the toilet. He said, oh my God, thank God for that. And he prayed for me and he walked away. Yeah.
Wow.
People will ask you funny questions. It's like, do disabled people have sex, for instance? And you go like, yes, we do, actually.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah. Your life is not over. That's the thing they need to understand, right?
No, they don't. I just,
you're not living.
Yes, some people, they just think, oh my God, life stopped. I go like, no, I'm still married, guys.
I can still live a fulfilling life.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Now we go back to that designing. Do you have ideas of how the clothing line is going to look like? Is it only women's wear or men's wear or kids wear?
No,
What are you using?
all. I'm not
Oh,
leaving
wow.
anything. All.
Amazing.
The whole shebang.
Wow.
And the other thing is the clothes is not only going to be for wheelchair users. It could be for able and non-abled.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow. I would love to be there. September Fashion Week. My goodness.
I would love to have you.
I just to see you just walk. That would be the only thing. That would be the only thing just to will give me pleasure and joy just to see you walk through in your own design and just to see the
It will be an amazing thing if you could come.
yeah. Wow. I love to be there. I love to be there. So what's next now? You're looking into this. When are you going to find out the top one who's going to take over the prize and work with you?
Maybe by the end of this week, inshallah.
Okay. All right. And you already have 6 amazing contenders.
Yes.
Difficult, like you said, to pick one. And hopefully, once you have that person who you're going to work with, because also are they in alignment with what you have in design in mind, right?
Yes.
That's going to take, yeah. What are the things that you're looking for that you would say will separate that one person from the other 5?
To be honest, all their work just wowed me. Because the amount of research they put into their job and, wow, colors, I'm a Somali woman.
Yes.
And the modesty part and amazing, the little clever things they came up with was wow. Some of the things even I hadn't thought about. So yes, all of them, I'm like, my husband, please, you need to come and help me here. And he goes like, you understand?
It's all on you. Yes. Well, I know you'll reach to one.
Yes.
It's gonna, because this is bigger than you now. The project that you're taking on, what you're doing is bigger than you. It's you making an impact to millions of people out there. And I can't even imagine where this is going to take you, honestly. I just see just doors opening for you and for millions of out there, because you're going to inspire people who felt they didn't have any reason to do anything. You're going to inspire that one person who's sitting in bed thinking their life is over.
But you know something, Fadwa, whenever you think it's like you're in a bad place, to be honest, there's somebody who's worse than you.
Yeah. And you're right. And every journey, there's a lesson, right? I am talking to you coming from a very toxic, past. So to be where I am, my family barely recognize who I am today than I was 2 years ago. The person I was 2 years ago, 6 months ago, I am not that person. We are constantly growing and evolving, right?
Absolutely.
And we need to be open to that.
And your past is your teacher.
Yes, absolutely. It's your teacher. That's your school.
Yes.
What have you learned? What can you take from those lessons that you can actually take on? Because they're there to teach you. We have the inner resources within us, like you yourself said, owning, right? Guess what, Fadumo? I just came to learn owning me now. I am owning me. I'm owning my voice and my message now. So I'm able to understand, whoa, I can create impact.
Exactly.
I have a voice that matters, that I matter. And when we have that belief that we matter and what we have matters and we can make an impact, that's when we start our journey. And I admire that about you. You stood firm in your truth. And that's who you are. You stayed true to yourself because you owned you. No matter your situation, you knew you.
Yes. And you're the only one who can tell yourself the truth,
Yes.
We tend to what do you call this? To ignore. You wait for other people to tell you something. But why don't you tell yourself this, my father, subhanAllah, he's an amazing guy. Every morning, I've got two other sisters. He will look at you and go like, "You're beautiful, princess. You're beautiful, princess. You're beautiful, princess." But your mother, you don't compete only with your mother, you know.
Yeah. Wow. And you know
Yes.
that's the thing we need, right? That
When,
love, that
when we're young children, we believed
yes.
you're a princess, you're a pretty princess.
Mm, yeah.
So when you look at yourself like this, I remember when I went to Stoke Mandeville Hospital, they brought a mirror. And I'm looking at this mirror, I'm like, oh my God, poor lady, she's so fat. Sorry to say that.
Mhm.
Then I asked myself, how am I able to see through this woman? And I just realized the woman I'm looking at was me, Farwa.
Mm.
I fainted.
Wow.
I need to send you a picture. You will not think it's me. I need to find this picture and send you.
Mm.
I fainted. When I fainted, they brought me back and I said, bring back the mirror. They said, no, Fadumo. I said, I need to see myself for real, guys. Just bring back the mirror. The mirror was brought back and I looked at myself and I could not recognize myself. And I kept staring at myself and I told them, I'm still beautiful. They said, yeah, that's the way to go because people normally cry and break down.
Mm.
But I just went like, I'm still beautiful.
Mhm. Yeah.
But that moment, I decided, how am I going to lose weight?
Yeah.
By the time I'm looking at myself like this, I thought, how will you lose this weight?
Mm.
Because
Wow.
right there, I need to be able to do my own pressure relief. For me to do my own pressure relief, I have to have less weight on myself, on my body. So how do I do that? So my journey began then. Now I'm about 75 kilos.
Congratulations.
Yes,
Wow.
or 5 to go
Yeah.
to 70, to back in 2011.
Yeah. No, you're looking good. You're looking good, mashallah.
Thank you.
You know, when you talk about that reflection in the mirror, I remember when I was about 15 years old, I walked down the street one day. I had done my hair. I wasn't wearing a headscarf then. I just came
Yeah.
back from the hair salon. I had this beautiful black and white dress that my aunt has sent it from Canada. Okay. So
Okay.
I'm walking down the street, my belt, my black high heel shoes, and I look at myself in the mirror and I see this reflection in front of me. And I'm like, wow, she's so beautiful. Look at
Yeah.
that. Look at that round hips and the round, behind and the small waist. I was admiring the reflection in front of me. And then it hit me and realized, hold on, that's me. But
Yes.
what? In my mind, I had a different image of how I looked. So the reflection in front of me, I could not recognize it. See that? Because I grew up as a young girl as the Somali skinny little girl, weak nafia with a weak
Mm-hmm.
soul, right? Because I used to be very weak and skinny, spaghetti legs girl. That's what they used to call me, right?
Uh-huh.
Bicho
Yeah.
basto, right? And that's the image I held in my mind from young girl, that I am this skinny little girl, weak, fainting in school, right? So
Oh,
I see this image in front of me and I see this beautiful young woman who has evolved and developed, and I'm admiring her only to realize that's me. And I couldn't even recognize that image. And guess what? That day I rejected the image in front of me. And I said, no, that's not you. That little girl, the voice came back and said, you're the spaghetti legs girl. You're the nuffier girl. You're the weak girl. That's not you.
oh,
Yeah. And it took me all my adult life to come into peace with that until 4 years ago. Until 4 years.
wow.
Yeah. And that has been the journey for me, right? Transformation. And that's why
Okay.
I do what I do now, to share the stories, because sometimes we hold on to this false image of who we are.
Mm-hmm.
We reject the real image of who we really are.
And that kind of, that by the time you realize the true you,
Mhm.
you just feel you've lost a lot of precious years,
Yes. Yes.
which I never want to do that. I never want to look back one time and regret. And
Yes.
to be honest, I don't regret at all. Wallahi, alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
I remember one time when I got married, the beginning, my husband told me one day, "You're good." I looked at him and I said, "No, I'm amazing."
Wonderful. I love that.
From that moment, I told him, no, I'm amazing. From that moment, my husband says, you're amazing. If I do something, he will say, oh, you're amazing. And the ladies who work here ask me, Fadumo, how come your husband always says you're amazing? I said, because I'm amazing. I don't want to do good or no, I want to be the top of everything.
Because that's what you believe for you, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. You can move around, Walalo. I don't want to hold you back.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. Yeah, I'm doing it.
Yeah, and that's I would say the void that's there, and we wait for others to fill that void within ourselves.
Yeah.
It's up to us to have that confidence within ourselves and say, I am amazing, I'm beautiful, I'm sexy, I own this, right?
Yes.
And not wait for somebody else to validate us. We don't need to pretend to be who we are not, and we don't need to hide behind that mask of we think who we are when we know what our truth is. So I love that. I love you just sharing your story, because being vulnerable is not just connecting with others, but being vulnerable is you standing in your truth.
True.
Yeah. So thank you so much for sharing this. Not a lot of people will be able to have that truth within themselves to a point where they're able to sit up and share this information with me and share it with the world. So I truly, truly celebrate you and honor you. And I'm inspired by you, Fadumo. And I truly,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're an honorable, courageous, inspirational woman who I know is going to make an impact. There's somebody out there who's going to listen to this message, and you're going to inspire. They may not be a designer. They may not do, other stuff out there in the world, but you will give them a reason to get off the bed. You will give them a reason to walk again. You will give them a reason to dream again. So this message people are going to listen to is going to inspire many people.
Well, life is life, and life is what you make of life. I have a different take on life. I believe I make my life the way I want it to be. For instance, now I'm a disabled woman. If I want to wallow and cry and feel sad, and be miserable, I chose that. If I choose to live my life the way I want to, the way I would like it to be, I want it to be as normal as it can be. Okay, I'm not going to be able to stand up or run and do this and do that. There's a few things I do different than the able-bodied people, but I will do them the best way I could. One time a doctor asked me, how do you feel? You didn't get a road accident. You just got meningitis. And it's a terrible thing that happened to you. How is your life? I asked the doctor, what is life? He told me life is beautiful. Life is amazing. Life is this, life is that. I told him, no, doc. He said, really? He thought I was going to say my life is horrible. I said, life is what you make of life. Mm. Then he said, I've never thought of it that way, but that is the correct way. Mm-hmm. But for what I believe, life is what you make of life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You today decide I'm going to keep quiet and be miserable, then you made your life miserable. Mm-hmm. If you decide I'm going to bring a change into the world by, voicing my voice, then you made your life that way, which is an amazing thing. A lot of people will listen to you. A lot of people will learn a new thing from your radio show. That's your life, and it's amazing.
Yeah. We all have a part, right? And just like you said, it's all about choice.
It's all about choices.
It's all about choice. And that word choice was introduced to me first time in 1997.
Okay.
I was going through a very hard time. I just moved to Canada. I used to live in England and Manchester, and London. So I had moved to Canada for an arranged marriage. And 1996, December of Christmas Day, I moved to Canada.
All right.
Yeah, and 3 months later, I walked out of an arranged marriage. Very young girl. And in our community, divorce is shunned upon.
So you're very courageous.
Imagine a new girl, okay, in Canada. I don't know
For
anybody.
you, sister.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it was the pressure from the community and everybody, But I remember locking myself in the bathroom. I went to stay at my aunt's house for a little bit while all the chaos was happening. I was in the bathroom and I found this book by Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And I don't remember where that book came from, but I just say somebody knew I needed to read it. And one part, I don't even know what chapter it was, what page it was, and it talked about choice. And that was the first time I was introduced to choice. I never knew I had a choice. And let me tell you, I walked out of that bathroom door after locking myself for 3 weeks. I walked out of that bathroom door owning my choice and saying, this is my life. Whether you're all happy or not, this is what I'm going to do. And since then, I have stood by that word choice, that I have choice.
Thanks to that book.
Yes. So I love that when somebody mentions you, when you just mention choice, it takes me back to that time. Yeah, we all have a choice. Either you choose to stand or not, it's a choice.
I had 2 sons. Sadly, one passed away. And my little baby, I used to ask him, sweetie, what do you want to eat tonight? What do you want to have for dinner? My cousin asked me one day, why are you asking this little baby what to eat? I said, yeah, he has a choice to choose what he wants to do. We would go to the wardrobe and ask him, sweetie, pick what you want to wear. Then I'm asked why. I say, because I want my son to grow knowing he has a choice to do whatever he wants to do. I don't want people to be making decisions for him or telling him what to do. One day in school, he told me his friends are not playing with him. I told him, don't run after friends. Let friends come to you, baby. And he asked me, did you do that in school? I said, yes, you're my son. You should sit up. People should like you for you, but not run after them. And I asked him the following day, so what happened? He said, I just went and I just started doing my own things. People started coming to me. I said, yes. So, and again, it's very important when you talk to your children, when you talk to young children, they learn a lot from you.
Yes, we model, right? We are role models to our children. They see they're like a sponge. And I'm so sorry for your son, for your loss as well.
It's part of life, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we will maybe start ending with this video. The first one, we're going to have more coming up. So because we're going to have more guests coming onto the show, which I can't wait. And we'll be sharing more, right? Furthermore, we'll be sharing more about what you're doing and how fashion, London Fashion Week is going to go and how you're designing. And the next video will share with us who your contender is. Maybe you can bring them onto the show and they can be here and talk about it.
Inshallah, I feel like Sabon Kawal,
Yes. So what would be the message that you want to leave with our audience? The person who is in that corner feeling that all is lost. What would be the message you want to leave them with today?
At the end of the road, at the end of the tunnel, there's a light. You just have to look for that light. There's life is a moment. Don't let your moment pass you. Grasp it with both hands. Make use of that moment.
Yes. Life is a moment. Make use of that moment. I can't even add anything more. There's been gems and gems that you have shared with us today, Fadumo. So I thank you so much for taking your time being with us. I'm looking forward to more conversations with you.
Inshallah.
Yes, thank you.
And thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure
to be able to speak to you, Fadwa, a Somali woman, to be on your show is an amazing pleasure. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for giving me that opportunity, actually, and opening your door to me. I greatly appreciate it. And for trusting me to bring forward your message. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much.
Well, thank you, everyone. Here is a beautiful story. I just hope you had just time to reflect upon it. Go back and listen to this message again because there's gems upon gems that Fadumo shared with us today. We will bring more stories and we will share more what's going on and the journey that Fadumo is going to go through, and she will share what's happening with her design. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to this. I thank you. Stay well and safe, everyone. As I always say, aspire to inspire. Thank you for listening into the Gems of Life show every Friday, 6 to 7, CKMS Radio 102.7 FM. And you can follow us on YouTube, the Gems of Life show, and Facebook page, the Gems of Life show. Thank you, everyone. Take care. Stay well and safe. Bye bye.